What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jamal. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's a beautiful afternoon here in the great state of Texas, and today we're going to be doing a major modification on the CTS-V. Now, it's not so major in what it is, but it is pretty major in the amount of work that's involved with it, and I kind of alluded to it last video when I did purchase that heat gun. Today we will be starting phase one of the blackout of the 2016 CTS-V. So let me show you guys in more detail what we're going to be blacking out. Starting with the front bumper, we will be blacking out this front grille surround and the front emblem, and then coming around to the sides we're going to be blacking out these fender emblems, and then the stainless trim that goes around the windows, and then we also want to probably finally black out these stainless door handles. Coming around to the back, we'll be blacking out the CTS lettering here, the V emblem, this stainless applique, and the rear emblem as well. So that's kind of going to black out all the stainless that's on the car. The car is super dirty right now. Honestly, I don't know why car manufacturers keep putting this stainless or chrome trim on these cars. It looks so much better black, but I guess that's kind of an old school thing that it's probably going to take a while to kind of change when it comes to the car. Now, you may be wondering why I didn't mention the wheels for the blackout. I have a plan for that, and that will be coming later on down the road. That probably will be a while from now before I do anything with the wheels, but the first step is to black out all the stainless trim and all the stainless emblems that are on the car. So phase one is going to include the front bumper. So we're going to have to take the front bumper off in order to get the grille surround off. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just popping some trim out and pushing that surround out. You actually have to remove the entire front bumper to get behind that grille surround to get it off and to get that front emblem off. And so in this video, we're going to hopefully remove the front bumper. Now, as I understand it, it's a pretty involved process, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me because it will be my first time doing it as well. And I have two things to work off of, which I'll mention here soon. But we're going to remove the front bumper. Hopefully all things go well. We'll be able to get that front grille surround off and that front Cadillac emblem off. And then we're going to take it to my buddy to have all the stuff painted black. So we're going to be going with gloss black on all the stainless trim. Satin black is also an option. I know a lot of aftermarket companies offer it in satin or gloss. But since my car is gloss black, I thought it would look best if we blacked everything out in gloss black. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you guys what I will be using as references to do this. Now, before I start this, I want to give a quick shout out to the homie Billy Dana. As you guys can see, he's actually created a PDF of what it takes to remove the front bumper. So bringing that up there, we've got some pretty solid instructions. And then there's also a video by Savage Cadillac on YouTube of them removing a regular CTS bumper, but a lot of the instructions there are the same as the CTS-V. So there actually isn't a video on YouTube that I know of on how to remove a CTS-V bumper for a V3, a 2016 and above. So hopefully I can make a decent enough one that people can use as a guide when it comes time for them to do this. So with that video and that PDF, I think I should have enough information to try to remove it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and throw you guys on a tripod. One thing I did order to try to make this a bit easier was a plastic rivet removal tool. Now this should help out when popping out those little plastic rivets that are on body panels and trim pieces that are really common on a lot of cars. And so hopefully that'll help us not break as many and will make the job go a bit easier. So I definitely recommend one of those. I think it was like $5 or $6 on eBay, so definitely a great tool to have in your arsenal if you ever take cars apart. So the first thing we're going to do is actually jack the car up and take the wheels off. I've heard that this step isn't necessary and that you can actually leave the wheels on and just turn them side to side to access some of the bolts and rivets that you need to remove. But I have a jack and jack stand, so I figured it'd just be easier for me to just jack it up and remove the wheels so that I have easy access to everything that I need to get to. So let's go ahead and jack it up. Now you guys have to remember to bear with me. I have never removed the bumper on this car, and I'm definitely not a professional mechanic, so it's going to be my first time going through this as well. So let's do it. I'm going to start by breaking the lugs on the ground and then jacking it up so that my impact gun doesn't have to work as hard to try to remove these lugs. So these lugs are a 22 millimeter in size. Alright guys, now that we've got the front wheels removed, we've got the vehicle in the air, we're going to go ahead and start up here at the top. You have to remove this water seal here. Should just pop right up. Fold it back to the point where you can get this front plastic piece off. You can see where it separates there. Off this side as well. Just kind of fold it out of the way. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and remove one clip here, and then one clip here, and then there's a bunch of hidden clips under this piece, indicated by kind of these circles here. And we just have to kind of feel around and start popping up on them. You're gonna have to use some force, but be gentle because you don't want to break any of these plastic clips, because then you're gonna have to replace them. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my tool and pop out these first two clips here. Sweet, that tool works pretty well. Now that we've got that top plastic piece off, we're going to go ahead and remove the front lip on the car. So in order to do this, it's pretty simple. You just come down here, there's two little plastic pieces that need to be popped out on the ends of the lip here. One's here. Yours might be shredded kind of like mine is. And then we've got to remove these screws that are holding the front lip on. Those are T20 screws. Our parts pile is starting to grow, but the next step is going to be removing these 4 screws in the wheel well here. One there, one there, one there, and then finally there's one there on the fender liner. Now, The point to removing these 4 screws is so that you can peel this back, and it'll give you access to 2 screws that are kind of up here, and that's where the front bumper actually screws in to the fender. So in order to access that, those 2 bolts on each side, we're gonna have to undo these 4 here. These are T15. So I'm gonna grab my impact and remove these real quick. You want to basically go around the bottom of the bumper and unscrew all of the screws that are holding this bottom part of the bumper to the under trays of the car. It's these bolts here, as you guys can see. These are 7mm, and so we're going to remove all of those, and that should free the bumper from the bottom of the under tray. Alright, now we're going to come back up to the engine bay, and we're going to remove all of these bolts that hold the front bumper to the car from the top. Don't forget these 2 bolts here on the end. As you guys can see, there's one there, and there's one there as well. These are all 10mm, as well as the 2 bolts that are up underneath the fender liner that hold the bumper to the fenders. So let's go ahead and undo all these. So up until this point, we are now free from the top and free from the bottom, and the last point of attachment for the bumper is to the fender. As you guys can see, pulling the fender liner back there, you can see the 2 screws that hold the bumper to the fender. There's 2 screws on both sides. These are 10mm as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys back on the tripod and remove these screws from both sides. I've got a total of 9" in extension with the 10mm to get these 2 bolts off. Boom. Got both the screws out. Alright, I can kind of see these clips. They need to be kind of popped down. Boom. Dislodge that one. Dislodge that one. Let that rest there and get the other side. Alright guys, those 2 connectors, I don't know if you guys could tell there, were a pain, but we finally got the bumper dislodged from the front of the car, and we can go ahead and start taking components off to get to the grille surround. and the emblem. Got the emblem out. Alright guys, and the last step to do is to pop out the grill surround. We have to push these tabs kind of down and get that hook to go over the tab to pull it out. So I've already got this side working a little bit. And got this side almost lodged completely free. Now after all that effort, removing the bumper, you can see it's gotten quite dark here. We've got what we were after. The front emblem and the grille surround. Okay, now I'm going to take this stuff to paint and have this stuff painted black. I was hoping that we could just snap the grille surround and emblem back in and then we could put the bumper back on, but that's not the case because the surround screws in from the back. So I'm going to have to wait until after the stuff's painted to snap that stuff back in. Alright guys, I think I'm going to cut the video off there. Putting it back together should be the same as taking it apart in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff to paint, and then I'll follow up with you guys in a later video on how it actually looks with all that stuff blacked out. But anyways, please leave all your questions in the comment section below. Like the video, and if you guys enjoy the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.